Real quick, you met Trump with Kanye. What was that like meeting Trump in person?
Well, it's unbelievable, because these are my two heroes.
Yeah.
And I've said that forever. I mean, I'm not like a bandwagoner. Like, Trump is my number one hero. I think he's one of the greatest Americans that ever lived. Same thing with Ye. I mean, he's been a personal hero and inspiration. And so here I am.
Was it weird, like being on one side to defeat the other?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, that was the weirdest part about it because, maybe under normal circumstances, it'd be a different dynamic. But here I am, across from Donald Trump and Ye. And I'm just like, for the first 30 minutes, I just couldn't believe it. I was just like enamored. But there was a point during the dinner where Ye asked Trump to be his running mate. I mean, he actually asked him that. That wasn't just a joke.
Shit.
He said, like, and it was funny because...
Paint the picture for us. Who's there at that dinner?
Oh, okay. So we pull up to Mar-A-Lago. We go to the patio, and it's... So I'm sitting here. You're sitting where Trump was.
Okay.
And here's Ye, and then here's this other guy whose name I forget. And then over here is Karen Giorno, who's this Zio person, political operator.
Of course.
Yeah, cha-ching.
Yeah.
Anyway... So this is the table, and it's about as big as this table, maybe even smaller.
Yeah.
And it's Thanksgiving. It's 2 days before Thanksgiving. It's also, and I told Ye on this on the plane because I'm a little autistic about the dates. I said, it's kind of weird. This is the day Kennedy was killed, November 22nd.
Oh, shit.
22.
Okay.
It's also weird, the numerology, because Donda 2 came out on 2/22/22, February 22nd, 22.
Oh, wow.
And then the dinner was 11/22/22. So just kind of weird how the dates lined up.
It's my mom's birthday, too. Fucking crazy.
There you go.
Yeah. We're going to talk about Kennedy as well, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah.
My dog came to my house that day.
Fuck your dog, nigga. Sorry. Okay. So you're there 11/22/22. So yeah.
Right. So it's 2 days before Thanksgiving, and they had a Thanksgiving special for us. So they give us the menu, but they say we got Thanksgiving turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes, and so we order and everything. And initially, it's funny because I noticed that Trump is trying to do the black voter pitch. It was almost kind of like secondhand embarrassment because it's like you're talking to the number one rock star in the 21st century. Yeah. And he's telling them like, hey, how about these opportunity zones? And I'm like, bro, come on, man. It's like that Jonah Hill movie. You see that, those you people. It was like that with the parents. I'm like, bro.
Yeah. Come on, man.
He's not that kind of black person. He's not Larry Elder, And so, and the thing is, Ye is very shy. I don't know if you know this, but it's one of the most endearing things about him because he's a real human being.
Yeah.
As much as he has this ego, which is deserved, and I love. Yeah. He's also a little shy, a little anxious, apprehensive, I noticed, which I like because it shows that there's a real guy in there.
Yeah.
And anyway, so he's kind of quiet. I could tell he's maybe a little nervous. He's a little shy. And so he's not really talking. And Trump gives him the iPad and says, we have the music here. This iPad controls the music. Pick any one of your songs you like. And Ye puts on Say You Will from 808s.
Okay.
And then he puts on Stronger, I think, because that's his number one most streamed song.
Yeah.
And anyway, so we all start getting more comfortable. Trump starts talking to this guy next to me. And then me and Trump have this long back and forth for I would say 30 or 45 minutes because, Ye's not really talking too much. This other guy's not so interesting. Trump doesn't like Karen because there's history there. And so me and Trump are just going back and forth. We're having this great conversation.
What y'all talk about?
So
if you could.
Yeah, totally. So we talked about Truth Social and Twitter. Elon Musk had just bought Twitter. And he's asking me, what do you think about that? And I'm start rattling off stats and facts, and he's real impressed. And then, we had this big strategy meeting the day before, me, Ye, and this other guy. And I was telling Ye how we're going to beat Trump on the debate stage. And I swear I knew this was going to happen. I knew that Ye was going to tell me to say that to him. And I'm thinking, please don't make me say that. Because that's our strategy. That's our playbook. But, he's so childlike and eager. He just wants to say it. And I'm like, bro, that's our playbook. We can't say that. So he's pressing me. He's like, no, tell me what you were saying the other day. And Trump is like, go ahead, tell me. And I said, Mr. President, I think you're the greatest American that ever lived. I said, I'm just a 20, at that time, 20, I'm still 24, I guess. I'm just a 24-year-old guy. I think you're the greatest American. I love you. I got nothing to say to you other than thank you. I'm not here to criticize you. And he says, no, come on, don't be bashful. Tell me. And so I start telling him about DeSantis. I said, you got to attack DeSantis. I said, this guy's a traitor.
Shit. Okay.
I said, and you know what? I said, all these influencers are stabbing you in the back right now. I said, all these Twitter influencers, because this was a couple days after he called DeSantis DeSanctimonious for the first time.
Okay.
And everyone was giving him heat for that.
Yeah.
I said, don't listen to them. I said, you are right. I said, and he deserves that and then some. I said, because you are the reason DeSantis is governor. I said, and
True.
the only reason
That's a fact
that he didn't say on the debate stage that he was going to serve his full term is because he's going to challenge you. I said, so your statement and what you said at the rally, I said, I love that. Like, that's what we need to see more of. I said, because you know what? I said, my favorite moment was the first primary debate in 2015, August 15, the Fox News debate. I said, the first question Brett Baer asked, he said, raise your hand if you are not going to take the pledge to support the eventual Republican nominee. Because Trump had been saying, if I don't win, I'm going to run as an independent and give it to Clinton. And Trump raised his hand as like a big FU. And he goes, yeah, whatever. Yeah. And everybody, boo, boo. Yeah. And Trump goes, I perfectly understand the question. He goes, I have a lot of leverage. And, if I'm going to run, I'll run as a Republican. But otherwise, I got a lot of leverage as an independent. I said, and in that moment, I said, you were willing to let the GOP die. I said, and I love that because we're here for you. I said, we're not here for Kevin McCarthy. I said, we're not here for Ronna McDaniel, the Republicans. I said, we love you. We support you. I said, and this midterm stuff, I said, even your speech, your announcement speech, I said, we want that old Trump back. We support you as a guy because you're an outsider. You're America first. And that really resonated with him. He's like, oh, okay. He goes, this guy's hardcore. This guy really gets me. He says, he does this point like he does the sideways point. This guy really gets me.
This guy gets me. Yeah.
He goes, hey, you're hardcore.
Yeah, he understands the issues. That Trump voice.
Art of the deal.
Yo, man. Sorry, continue.
So anyway, so that was the gist of our back and forth. But then the dinner changes when, because then Ye and Trump are talking, and I can't talk too much about that conversation. I can tell you afterward, it'll blow your fucking mind. But anyway, so that's going on. And Karen is kind of like kicking Ye under the table, like, hey, remember what you're here to ask him. Because we set it up. He actually wrote not like a setup. I mean, Ye was planning on asking him to be his vice president. Right. Everybody says we set Trump up to get him in trouble. We didn't. Yeah. What we wanted to do was Ye wanted to ask him to be his running mate. Yeah. That was literally.
So this is what you were originally telling before I want to get more information before we got here. Okay. Yeah. So continue. Sorry.
So,
so he asked him to be my running mate.
Yeah. So, well, and even before the dinner, I mean, the famous tweet where he says, I forget what he said. He said, Rainey, I can't believe I kept the president waiting and I'm wearing jeans. How do you think he's going to take it when I ask him to be my running mate? That is very yay. That is very nay. He published it after, but he wrote it before. He was going to publish it before. Okay. So anyway, so Karen's kicking him under the table like, hey, remember what you came here to ask him? Mm-hmm. And so Ye says, oh, yeah. Would you be my running mate in 2024? And Trump, like, I thought he'd be like kind of jocular and say, oh, whatever. He got pissed.
Oh, really?
And my right hand of God, like, I am not even exaggerating a little bit at all. For some reason, I knew this wasn't going to happen, but I was like afraid, like he was going to punch me.
Whoa, he was that angry.
I swear. Like, shit. And, obviously that wasn't going to happen. I mean, it wasn't like physically.
Was this towards the end of the conversation?
Yeah, this is at the very end.
This after you showed your support, everything.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay. And like, he was exuding so much. And this is what everybody says about him. And I learned it that day. This guy's like no joke when it comes to the art of the deal, negotiation. Like, he's a master of dealing with people, and so he changed his posture. He crosses his arms, leans forward. And he says to Ye, he goes, you know what? He goes, you can win at a lot of things. He goes, and you can do your music and everything, but you shouldn't run. You'll never win at this. You can't. You think you can win at this? You can't win at this.
Oh, shit. Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
And then and I was like, whoa.
Oh, fuck.
And he turns to me and he goes, you're a pretty smart guy. He goes, I know you work for him, but go ahead, tell him he can't win. Go ahead, tell him. I know you're a smart guy.
Wow.
And I'm looking at him. Wow. And I'm looking at Ye.
Talk about a predicament.
Shit. Right?
Yo.
I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Killing it right there. He said, yo, I ain't playing games. You're not winning. Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, and I left this part out. So even before he said that, he told 3 stories. And they all had a very clear point, and it was not subtle at all. Trump is like a genius at this. It was so masterful. So Yates, indicates that he's going to run.
What are the 3 stories? You don't have to say specifically.
I'll just list them off.
Well, okay, go ahead.
It was a story about, I think, Kodak Black, who got freed, and was it Sweden?
He pardoned him for his felon charge, yeah.
So it's Kodak Black.
Possession, yeah.
Yeah, and it was the basketball player in China who got charged. And he secured that guy's release. LeVar Ball.
LeVar Ball's son.
Okay, D'Angelo Ball. Okay, yep.
Jello.
LeAngelo Ball.
Jello, yeah.
All right,
there you go, yeah. And it was those 2, and it was a story about Alice Johnson. And the story went something. So he starts out and he goes, I'm not going to tell the full thing, but this is a gist. So he goes, yeah. He goes, are you still with your wife? Are you still attracted to her? You still love her? And he's like, yeah, of course, And he goes, I want you to tell her that she's a disgusting human being, he goes. Exact words.
Whoa.
To Kim K?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's right, though. She is a disgusting human being.
But here was the justification. He goes, because you know what? He goes, I freed Alice Johnson, and then she goes and endorses Biden. She's a disgusting human being. I want you to tell her I said that, he goes. I was like, bro, that's his wife. That's his ex-wife. Then he goes in a story about Kodak Black, and he goes,
he meant Kim K. Or did he mean Kim K too?
What do you mean?
No, Kanye's current wife, which is
the ex-wife, Kim Kardashian.
Okay, so
he said
they're broken up.
Yeah. That's what I meant. So he said Kim K is disgusting, and then who's the other person? Alice Johnson.
And they freed Alice Johnson. Kim Kardashian helped secure Alice Johnson's
commutation. All right, there we go.
Since.
Okay, because I remember that she went to the White House to pardon somebody, but I didn't know who it was. Alice Johnson that she got pardoned.
And so he basically said, like, I would never have released her if I knew Kim would have endorsed Biden. And then
there we go. Okay.
So this is the moral of the story. Next story about Kodak Black. He goes, I freed Kodak Black, and he told the whole story. And by the way, this is the other thing that was like jarring. This is what made me think he was going to hit us, is because the whole conversation was so cordial. He starts telling these stories and starts dropping F-bombs, like every other word, like a mafia boss. He goes in, he's like, so I told this fucking motherfucker this, and I'm like, this is the president. Like, and you've heard him swear at the rallies. It's kind of kitschy.
Yeah.
But this is like some serious, like Casino. It's like Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Gist of the story is I would have never freed Kodak Black if I knew how disloyal he was, that he went and said all this nasty stuff after I got him freed.
Are you serious? He did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Same thing after China. He said about the and this one was even better.
It's not easy to get a presidential pardon either.
No. Yeah. Well, and that's what Trump said, is that he went to great lengths to secure his release because these guys were in real trouble.
What was Kanye doing when he was coming at him like that? Was he just sitting there like?
Well, remember he wasn't with Kim no more. He's like, yeah, she probably is a fucking.
No, but you could tell he was visibly angry, right?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's one of these like power plays, you know how these political people are, like it wasn't imminently obvious in that moment that like he was attacking us, that he was sending a very veiled threat.
Yeah.
I think by the end, it was pretty apparent what was going on. Because in the moment, we're like, whoa, he just switched up and is telling this really weird story all of a sudden. But by the end of it, we're like, oh, that's what he meant. And so the third story was about the basketball player. And he said, the basketball player was brought out on the tarmac, because the president was there for the revolution's anniversary or something, big state visit, a lot of flags and everything. And so and this happened at the same time. And Trump said that the Chinese would not free this guy at the same time that Trump left, because they said, you're not going to embarrass the president leaving at this, you disgrace. You're not going to leave the same time he leaves on this big state visit. And so Trump says that after his plane took off, the Chinese brought the basketball player on the tarmac and slapped him across the face.
Really?
The Chinese official did.
Oh, wow.
And said, you embarrass the president. Don't you dare embarrass the president.
Wow.
And Trump said, and the father goes out and thanks everybody other than me. Trump said, I never would have pardoned him. I would have let him rot in China if I knew they were going to do that.
Wow.
Now, what's the moral of the story in all these cases?
They backstabbed him.
Disloyal black guys, where Trump did him a favor and these people embarrassed him and stabbed him in the back. And it's like, and obviously that's relevant to the later conversation about, will you be my running mate?
Will you be my running mate?
And so when Trump says, you can't win this and that. And then he basically threw us out. He's like, what time's your flight? I'll walk you out. It's right across the street.
Wow.
And then refused to take a picture with Ye.
Oh shit!
Because across the other side of the dining room was that they said the richest banking family in Switzerland or Germany was having dinner. This is Mar-A-Lago.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Oh, yay, come get a picture with us." And they said, "We want a picture with both." And Trump refused. He's like, "Oh, you get a picture." He wouldn't get in the picture with Ye after that. He was cool with me. He came up to me and shook my hand. He's like, and he said, "I'll see you soon. You're really, he really liked me. He was just mad at Ye, I think.
Damn.
Or maybe Karen.
Wow. Fuck. What was the Secret Service doing? My question, what the fuck were they doing all this time? Were they there? Obviously.
I didn't even really notice them, to be honest.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, everyone criticized Trump for saying like, wow, they just let anybody in Mar-a-Lago. And like, yeah, kind of. I mean, because we just walked through the front door.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. I wasn't paying super close attention. I was kind of nerding out.
Yeah, of course.
So did Kanye react at all to this? Did he ever say like, yo, like, relax, like, don't talk to me like that? Or was it just like, I'm just take this on the chin?
He was really taking it on the chin. Okay. He was really being diplomatic. Wow. And I think he was, we were all just kind of taken aback. Yeah. I mean, it was so shocking because here we are. I mean, it has weight to be there in his presence.
Oh, yeah.
He's
at his house.
He's the man, you know?
Yeah.
And for him to switch up like that and just bring this intensity 0 to 100, I think we were all like, we got in the car. We were like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like, but we were all like, yo, that was crazy.
I mean, he became a billionaire for a reason. You know what I mean? He became wildly successful for a reason. He became president for a reason. So, I mean, but damn, I mean, I will say this as a guy that used to work for the government before, as you guys know, used to be with Homeland, whatever. It is very difficult to get a presidential pardon. Rarely ever happens.
But did he also pardon A$AP Rocky as well?
You know what? It might have been about A$AP Rocky. So I think I got him confused.
I don't think Kodak was disloyal. I think he actually picked up Trump. I think A$AP was the one that was kind of like, whatever, right?
I think you might be right. Yeah, I'm getting mixed up. I think you're right. It was A$AP Rocky.
He did pardon Kodak too. So, okay, Fresh is right. Okay, so
both of them, right?
So, okay, so it was A$AP that he pardoned that turned his back.
Yeah, it was one of them. The one that he was like caught with a knife, I think, in Scandinavia.
That's it.
So it's A$AP Rocky.
Oh, ran his current baby daddy.
It was when he got arrested in Europe.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yes. It was when he got arrested in Europe. Him and his entourage beat up a dude.
That's right.
And then okay, so he was pissed off. You know what? That makes more sense. Who's his wife? Rihanna, liberal.
Right.
Of course you're gonna say Biden.
Listen, my nigga Kodak, he's loyal, man.
Yeah. I was gonna say, because bro, because in my head I was like, damn, did Kodak really switch up on Trump? Because to get someone pardoned federally, and remember, guys, he went in for felon in possession of a firearm. What he did was he was a felon, and he actually bought a gun and wrote on the form he's not a felon. Yeah, like, come on, man, like that's clear cut. ATF got you. That's all right. So I was like, bro, you know what I mean? So they got it. Okay, so it's that makes sense.
My boy Kodak would never.
Yeah.
No, my mistake. Yeah, you're right. It's A$AP Rocky.
So that makes sense because you know what? It makes sense because the basketball player. So he basically got people out of situations where they were in prison in foreign countries, which that's even harder than a federal pardon because you're dealing with it's your country. Okay, pardon the guy. But if it's like a foreign country, you got to do diplomatic stuff. Oh, well, you got this spy of mine that was arrested in '85. I need y'all to release him. Like,
I will say this, though. The whole LeVar Ball situation with his son, he could have just said, you know what? I don't like you, but thank you for doing that for my son. Because honestly speaking, he could have been in jail rotting for real, though.
In China? Bro. In China of all places?
You were done, bro.
Me love you long time. In jail. Nigga, like, yo, bro.
I know he's out having a kid, having, family and stuff like that. It's like, bro, you got to owe him something.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. No, I think Trump was right, but he was telling those stories to send a message like, "Hey,
we probably had to fucking trade a prisoner for that shit." You know what I mean? Like, especially when you're dealing with foreign powers. China, I know that was a pain in the ass to get them out. It was Sweden or Norway or one of these. That at least is an ally, so it's like okay, you know. But we probably have to do some bullshit for that. But that makes sense because Rihanna is a hardcore lib. She's always, Biden.
Shout to Barbados,
Obama, man. Yeah. Oh, well, it is what it is. All right, where we at here?
Rumble?
Yeah, I think it's time to switch.